Well, I've always been a boater and a sailor. My father had a power boat when I was in college at Western, and we enjoyed the San Juan Islands, so I was always around the marina. I always enjoyed giving back to my community in some way, and a port commissioner opportunity came up, and I thought it fit well, so when I retired, I decided to run for the port commission and enjoyed it very much.
Came in to really run operations, engineering, maintenance of the marinas, the airport, and then that soon grew into an opportunity for me to be the executive director, where I stayed for a number of years. I loved my years. I loved the public sector, and I loved my years at the Port of Bellingham. And it was the commission, and it was the staff, and members of the community. And in my tenure, I was very fortunate to do a lot of great things that I think advanced the cause, so to speak. But it's because we had great support, and we had tremendous alignment between the commission and the staff, and it meant the organization could be focused and not get distracted on things from its mission.
In the 1920s and 30s, my grandfather, Arch Talbot, was a stockbroker in Seattle, and he had heard about a shipyard in Bellingham that had come upon hard times and was available for sale. He felt that the opportunity to own a shipyard would be a good investment. After purchasing the company, within 6 months, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. We were in the war, and the shipyard received a multitude of orders for Navy vessels. The shipyard during the 1940s prospered and grew very large, but the war concluded in 1945. The orders from the Navy for vessels subsided, and there was a need to diversify the company. Whatcom County had a growing, developing agriculture sector, as well as a big fishing community that was growing. His innovation at the time was to build a cold storage that would be a third-party provider. I started taking over as owner in the early 2000s from my father, and I recognized that I had big shoes to fill, my father's and my grandfather's and their legacy. So the Port of Bellingham has really been an invaluable partner for me and my team.
Transportation was the main reason ports were started. And look what we have. We have the airport, we have the waterways, we have the ferry terminal, we have the train depot, and we have the bus terminal, all on port property. We're really the economic engine of a community.
So we cleaned up legacy environmental pollution like in Bellingham Bay. We created waterfront access like Zuanish Point Park. And then we started probably one of the first port countywide economic development programs in the state.
Brown zones would not be cleaned up if it wasn't for ports. I had just started as a commissioner, and then I signed the largest environmental cleanup for the Washington Public Port Association, $35 million. So that was a huge project as well, but All-American Marine was a big one. All-American Marine at the time was located in Fairhaven, and they were going to move to a new site because they couldn't get room. And so we went over as commissioners and toured it, and looked at it, and talked about expanding at the time. In working with them, we ended up choosing the site, created a whole lot of jobs for the community. What will the next 100 years be like? Your guess is as good as mine. I think the marinas will still be there. I think the airport will be there 100 years from now. So in the next 100 years, like I said, I don't know what it's going to be, but Washington Public Port Association, of all 75 ports belong to it, wonderful organization.
The port has a culture and it has a mission. That's one that has flexibility, and it can recognize when new demands come up, there are hiccups on the road, or new opportunities present themselves.
The Port of Bellingham has really given us a unique opportunity to grow into the next century. We're so grateful to all the support we've received from the Port of Bellingham over the years, for them recognizing our importance to the local economy, and we hope to be around for another 75 years.
It was probably, I would say, the golden years of my career, and I had a 40-year career, so that was probably the best part of it.
I would encourage anyone that was going to want to work at the Port of Bellingham to do it. It's a great place. Go in with an open mind to make Whatcom County a better place.